Hello everyone. Hello. I'm so sorry that I'm late here, that I am it was so long the live in Portuguese. I'm so sorry guys. I didn't realize that will take like 1 hour to explain the 10 saboteurs. I was like planning to explain the saboteurs and then the solution, but was like 1 hour just explaining the saboteurs. I'm so sorry that I'm here late. But I wanna express, I wanna show you. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome here. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Friday night. I know, guys, Friday night is time for like happy hour date night, but you were here with me, and I am very thankful for that. Um, and I want to say thank you for all the messages, comments, all people that reach out to me on Messenger and talking, asking me about the imposter syndrome and sharing with me your feelings and your thoughts, and asking me about the assessment, saboteurs assessment. You that shared with me the results of your assessment, thank you so much for your trust. I told some people here that I was going to read and reach out to you back. So unfortunately, I couldn't yet. I'm so sorry, but until tomorrow, I will be reaching out to you to help you to understand your results. Okay, but I'm here today to explain about the saboteurs a little bit more deeper than yesterday, and then come to a solution. And then tomorrow I want to do the answers and questions live for you, 12 o'clock, 12:30 actually p.m. For you to make your questions and anything that you want to say. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me here tonight. And if you're wondering who is that is talking, I'm Kelly Fisher. I'm business coach. I love business. I love help people to grow their business. I love that. Do you know why? Because I believe when we know who we are, we find our purpose, and when we know our purpose, we can transform that in a product or service to serve others. And when we are serving others and we are finding solutions to other people, we are creating a legacy, not only for our family, but the others people's families as well. We are creating a legacy for our city, for our state, for our country. Anyway, we are contributing to grow. That's why I love business. That's why I love people. That's why I love to work with people in business. Business people, let's say this way. Anyway, but there is no way to work, even that when we are doing business to business, we need to remember that business is creating by people for people to solve people's problems. So it's everything about people, and people, like I said yesterday, people are three in one, a systematic, like emotions, flesh, and spirit. So we have the emotions as well, and that's why I'm here explaining to you during this series of lives about imposter syndrome. So on Monday I came here and spoke to you what is imposter syndrome, who are the people that are suffering with that, what kind of person that start to suffer with imposter syndrome. Usually the majority, they are women, not because it's only for women people, but because women open to talk about their emotions. But the men, they suffer with that as well, but they hide their feelings anyway. But 85% of professionals in high performance, in high positions, in high achievements, they are suffering with imposter syndrome because they start to self-doubt. Hello, Regina. Thank you so much for joining me. I saw you start to follow me on Instagram. I'm so sorry that I was late over there, but I saw your result. I will answer you. I'm sorry I didn't answer you today, but then I will answer you tomorrow. Anyway, so 85% of the women in a high position start to self-doubt, start to understand that they are fraud. But why this start? Why this happened? And then on Tuesday, I brought my own story where I spoke about the dream thieves, like people who come speaking something to you and then steal your dream and then kill your purpose, and then you start to doubt what God told you to do, start to doubt about what is in your heart, start to doubt about your why, and then you start to self-doubt, and then you start to anyway. But why this happened? Why, when you are so sure about everything, why you allow someone say something and come to you and you receive that and develop in a way that could become a imposter syndrome, or if you don't treat in the beginning, could become a depression. And then that's why I started to talk about the saboteurs, because our brain try to protect ourselves, try to all the time protecting us for all dangers. So when you think about the beginning of everything, like we need to be protected by the animals, by all sort of dangers, so we need to be alert all the time. So our brain is all the time seeing the negative, is all the time seeing the danger, is all the time seeing the negative things. I saw a video and the guy was saying that's why when we are on the road and driving and we see an accident and then we slow down to see the accident, because our brain is trained to see the bad things. So we need to train our brain just to see the positive, to act positively. So and this way our brain trying to protect us from real danger in our childhood, real dangers against or physically or emotionally in our childhood, created the saboteurs. We don't need to use the saboteurs anymore in our when we are adults, because we already understand everything. We already are have conscience of everything, know what is good, what is bad. We have we are decision makers, but because of that, they still there. And when something happen and then awake the trigger, and then comes and we react according to the saboteurs. Like I said yesterday, they hijacked us, and then in a way that we react with the saboteurs behavior, you know. So if you are acting, if you have a feeling, if you have an emotion and you are going through that more than 1 second, is because the saboteurs took place and they are working on you. So you need to be careful, because today that you are adult, the emotion come kind of like I said yesterday as an example, is like the pain when you are on the stove and then you feel warm and hot. So the pain is just an alert for you to see, oh, it's hot, I need to take off my hand. But if you stay there for a long time and you start to burn and everything, so it's bad. And then when the anxiety or stress or angry, when these emotions come, is just an alert. And then you need to, oh, okay, so what does this mean? What do I need to change? Let's change for the positive. Let's change for the positive. Let's change for the uh, let me try to see the positive way of that. So that's what we need to train our brain to do, you know. But we don't have the tendency to do that because we have the tendency to follow the saboteurs. And that's why I'm here to explain about the saboteurs. Like I said yesterday, we have 10. The biggest one is the judge, and the judge is the critical. So he tries to criticize you and say you are not good enough, and then bring worried, concern, wakes you up in the middle of the night, beat yourself, and thinking that you are not good enough, and criticize you. And then he calls all the other 9 that works for him. Okay, so I will explain about the 9. So the avoider, focusing on the positive and pleasant in an extreme way, avoiding difficult and unpleasant tasks and conflicts. So what are the characteristics of the avoiders? Avoids conflict and says yes to things one wouldn't want. Downplays importance of real problems and tries to deflect others. Has difficulty saying no. Resists others through passive aggressive means rather than directly. Loses self in comforting routines and habits, procrastinates on unpleasant tasks. So he wants to avoid any problem. So he doesn't like conflict. He doesn't like any problems. So he wants to avoid. When you do the test, there comes all the description of each one of them. So if you wanna, you can send me a direct message on Messenger, and then I can send to you the link for you to do the test. And then you can go ahead. It will be kind of a graphic saying the level of each one of the 9 saboteurs, and then you can go on each one of them and see exactly the description of each one of them. Okay, so you can read everything. I'm just reading some specific things because I want to come with the solution. Okay, so I will tell you just the characteristics, and then where the origin, you know, where it started. So original survival function. Avoider could rise from both happy and difficult childhoods. In happy childhood, one might not have learned the resilience of dealing with difficult emotions. In a childhood of high conflict and tension, the avoider might come into play peacemaker and learn to not add any negativity or tension of one's own on top of the existing family tensions. So probably came from that, or a happy childhood where didn't learn about resilience and deal with difficult emotions, or a very conflict and very tension home, where need to play the peacemaker and avoid the negativity. Anyway, so that 2 possibilities. The second one, hyperachiever. Okay, dependent on constant performance and achievement for self-respect and self-validation. Highly focused on external success, leading to unsustainable workaholic tendencies and loss of touch with deeper emotional and relationship needs. So, what are the characteristics of the hyperachiever? Competitive, image, and status conscious. Good at covering up insecurities and showing positive image. adapt personality to fit what would be most impressive to the other, goal-oriented and workaholic streak, more into perfecting public image than introspection, can be self-promoting, can keep people at safe distance. So they are usually competitive and like the status and the image, you know, and keep the self-promotion and keep people in safe distance. Where this started, when this started? For the hyperachievers, self-validation, self-acceptance, and self-love are all conditioned on continual performance. This is often the result of either conditional or altogether absent validation from parental figures. Even with very loving and approving parents, it is easy for children to get the sense that they are loved in return for achieving, obeying the rules, having good manners, etc., rather than unconditionally. So both situations, so or was like absent of validation, so he found on that the achievements, the validation from the parents, or even that they have a really good and loved family, some way understood that the love is not unconditional but is from achievement. So have the sense of love in return of an achievement and obedience. This is sad, isn't it? It's sad. We are always mess up. Oh my gosh. Do you understand, guys? It's easy to understand. Let me know what are you thinking about. Okay? Restless. And let me know if you identify with any one of them. So restless, constantly in search of greater achievement, excitement in the next activity or constant business, rarely at peace or content with the current activity, characteristics, easily distracted and can't get too scattered. Stays busy, juggling many different tasks and plans, seeks excitement and variate. Yeah, is correct. Not comfort or safety. Bounces, escapes from unpleasant feelings very quickly, seeks constant new stimulation. Wow, so needs always have something more excitement, more energy, more different, something new, always need something more excited, you know, to go, like many things at the same time. Original. The restless is a strategy to find constant new sources of excitement, pleasure, and self-nurturing. This could be associated with early life experiences with inadequate parental nurturing or painful circumstances. Restless indulgence not only provided substitute self-nurturing but also an escape from having to deal with anxiety and pain. So is the survival mode to with early inadequate parental nurturing, so need to deal with the pain, or substitute for self-nurturing. So this is hard. When we read that, this is really hard, and then we start to remember our childhood. I don't know if you guys are while I'm reading that, if you guys remember something, but anyway, feel free to share, you know, guys. I'm here. Hello, Frenchie, very welcome. I'm here. Like I say to you guys, I don't know how Facebook works, so I can't see you who is here live right now, so say hi to me. The controller, anxiety-based, need to take charge and control situations and people's actions to one's own will. High anxiety and impatience when that is not possible. So, characteristics of the controller: strong energy and need to control and take charge. Connect with others through competition, challenge, physicality, or conflict rather than softer emotions. Willful, confrontational, straight talker. Push people beyond comfort zone. Comes alive when doing the impossible and beating the odds. Stimulated by and connects through conflict. Surprised that others get hurt. Intimidate others. In your face communication interpreted by others as anger or criticism. So the origin was underneath the bravado of the controller. There is often a hidden fear of being controlled by others or life. Controller is sometimes associated with early life experiences where the child is forced to grow up fast, be on its own, and take charge of its chaotic or dangerous surrounding in order to survive physically and or emotionally. It is also associated with being hurt, rejected, or betrayed and deciding to never be that vulnerable again. So comes from the I don't want to be in this situation again. I need to take the control. I cannot live the life take the control of my life again. I need to have the control. So comes from the I don't want to be vulnerable anymore. Stickler, perfectionism, and a need for order and organization taking too far. Characteristics: punctual, methodical, perfectionist, can be irritable, tense, opinionated, sarcastic, highly critical, or self and others. Strong need for self-control and self-restraint, or works overtime to make up for others. Sloopiness and laziness, is highly sensitive to criticism. So the sticklers offers a way of quieting the constant voice of self-judgment and fears of others' judgments through trying to be perfect. If you do what is right, you will be beyond interference and reproach by others. Perfection and order brings a sense of temporary relief. Might have generated a sense of order in the middle of chaotic family dynamic, or earned acceptance and attention from emotionally distant or demanding parents by standing out as the unreproachable perfect kids. So comes from this chaotic family, and then I need to bring the sense of relief by the perfection and order, So it's terrible. And we can see so many kids that goes through that they live in chaotic homes, and then they are the one that needs to put all things together, that need to be organized and put this responsibility on them. So imagine it growing up and being an adult like with these kind of saboteurs. This is hard because always needs to be perfect, and then don't fear the judgment of others. Anyway, pleaser, and we are almost there. Indirectly tries to gain acceptance and affection by helping, pleasing, rescuing, or flattering others. Loses sight of own needs and becomes resentful as a result. So characteristic: has a strong need to be liked by people and attempts to earn it by helping, pleasing, rescuing, or flattering them. needs frequent reassurance by others about their acceptance and affection, can't express own needs openly and directly, does so indirectly by having people feel obligated to reciprocate care. Um, Origin was the pleaser tries to earn attention and acceptance through helping others. This is an indirect attempt to have one's emotional needs met. It is fed by two original assumptions that are picked up in childhood. One, I must put others' needs ahead on my own. Two, I must give love and affection to order to get my any back. To get any back, I must earn it and am not simply worthy of it. So this is very sad because he understood that needs to put the necessity of others ahead on his own, or the affection will receive back the love and affection if help others, it's very sad. Hyper vigilant, continuous intense anxiety about all the dangers and what could go wrong, vigilance that can never rest. That's this one, guys, was my first one. Yeah, I think it was 6.9. I think my rate anyway. Always anxious, with chronic doubts about self and others, extraordinary sensitive to danger signals, constant expectation of mishap or dangers, suspicious of what others are up to. People mess up, might seek reassurance and guidance in procedures, rules, authorities, institutions. And so when I read all of these, I was like, oh, I know where it started. I know what is the problem of this. So I will tell you the region. The hypervigilant often comes from early experiences where the source of safety and security, parental figure, was unpredictable and unreliable. It could also result when painful, unexpected events proved life to be threatening or unreliable. So, in my case, my childhood was very difficult. So, all the time, my father was leaving the house, like all the time, cheating on my mom and leaving the house. So even that we had a good financial condition, but the fear to be abandoned was always like crazy. So it was very hard childhood, very chaotic, like very, anyway. And then I lived the same in my own life. So my ex-husband, he cheated on me a lot, and then he decided to leave. When he left, we were living in a house with 3 stores, so it was like very big house. And then he left, and I went to a healing camp. I was like 1 week like going through a healing, and my mom was with my son in my house. So she left to her hometown, and I saw myself alone with my son. And then that night, the first night alone with my son, the security alarm just started to like wow, wow, and then I woke up. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was running the whole house, seeing if was somebody there, was like something happened, and on the garage, and like seeing the car and everything, and then coming to see if my son, he was with 6 to 7 years old at that time, and I was seeing if he was like awaking. So I need to be the guardian of my house, and then at that night, so the alarm did the same time 3 times. And I was so scary that something could happen with my son, that I didn't took care of him, that I didn't like, that I was very scared. So I turned turned on the hyper vigilant um, saboteurs that it started in my childhood with the couple times that my father left. Um, so I saw me in this situation, and then the most difficult thing is because, guys, I am deaf of my right ear, and I can hear just from my left ear. So my biggest fear was, if I turn sleeping, if I turn and I close my ear and I can't listen anything, and something happened and I'm not listening. So if something happened with my son, I will never forgive myself. So I was like in alert all the time, because I couldn't let anything happen with my son. If he calls me, I need to be awake to see him, because I was so afraid to turn my side and close my ears and don't hear anything. So I was 7 years living like this. So of course today, the hypervigilant is still, even that I am married again and I have an awesome husband for 2 years already, I still have the hypervigilant. I still have this characteristic of people mess up, suspicious of what others are up to. So constant expectation of mishap or danger. I am all the time on this mode, this mood, all the time like this. And was so full of fun, so cool actually, that the first week that I was married again after 7 years, it was difficult for me to uh, turn, on the bed to sleep and like put my ears like. And today I still sleeping closer the door. Today I still sleeping. I need to sleep in the position that I am closer to the door. If something happen, I will run faster. I will be the first one to be at the door. So that's one of the things that could happen on your childhood, or a strong emotional impact that's still going on, uh but today I can sleep, and my husband says that my best sleep is when I turn and I put, like, I don't hear anything, and then I can sleep better. Anyway, victim, emotional and temperamental as a way to gain attention and affection, and extreme focus on internal feelings, particularly painful ones. Martyristic characteristics: if criticized or misunderstood, tend to withdraw, put and soak. Fairly dramatic and temperamental. When things get tough, want to crumble and give up. Repressed rage results in depression, apathy, and constant fatigue. Unconsciously, I'm sorry guys that I can't read this word. Attached to having difficulties. Get attention by having emotional problems or being temperamental and sullen. The survival function, the victim is sometimes associated with a childhood experience of not feeling seen and accepted, coming to believe that something is especially wrong with you. Victim is a strategy to squeeze or out some affection from those who would otherwise not be paying attention. The moods mimic a false sense of aliveness. Anyway, so feel that didn't have attention. So if shows that is sick or weak, so we'll have attention from people. Hyper rational, intense, and exclusive focus on the rational processing of everything, including relationships, can be perceived as cold, distant, and intellectually arrogant. Characteristics: intense and active mind, sometimes coming across as intellectually arrogant or secretive. Private, private, and don't let many people into my deeper feelings. Mostly show feelings through passion and ideas. Prefer to just watch the craziness around me and analyze from a distance. Can lose track of time due to my intense concentration, high penchant for skepticism and debate. So that's the hyper rational, and the survival function is a good survival strategy in early childhood circumstances of emotional turmoil or chaotic surroundings. The escape into the neat and orderly rational mind generates a sense of security or sense of intellectual superiority. It also gains us attention and praise by showing up as the smartest person in the room. So he understood that if he is the smartest person in the room, we'll have the attention. So that's what he learned in his childhood, and he repeats that. So that's the hyper rational. So those are the 9 saboteurs, okay? And everything starts with the critical, the judge, and they are the one who, when something happens, trigger comes, and then we act through their, based on our emotions, following their behavior that we learned supposed to protect us in our childhood, and we don't need to use anymore, but then we still use. So it's too late already. I want to try to bring the solution for that, but then I decided to, because it's late already. And thank you so much for still here, guys. I know Friday night people are going to hang out with friends and date night, and you are here. Thank you so much for that. This live will be recorded and saved on my page until tomorrow 1 p.m. You can watch. But what I try to do here, guys, like I told you, was I went through that the beginning of this year. So I try to bring here this, first of all, the knowledge, because I believe when we know, we can be free. So like I put on the post, John 8:32, when we know the truth, we can set free. So when you know the truth, you can be set free. You know, you can fight against, because now you know your enemy. So if you think that you have one of these, or more than one of these saboteurs, please send me a message. I will send to you a link, and then you can do the assessment. If you don't understand the assessment, reach out to me. I can go with you through that. But my idea here is to create a safety place. I know even that I tried here this time to create this safe place on social media. Is very difficult to create the safe place here. So what God is putting in my heart is to create the safe place in another platform, and I will talk a little bit more about that tomorrow 12:30 during the live answering questions live. But just for you to understand, there are many ways for you to win the battle, to win those enemies. Free ways for you to do that, simple ways like going to do an exercise and run, like I said yesterday. I stopped in the middle of the day because I was very stressful and then with a lot of cortisol, and then I decided to go swim. So simple ways like that, okay? Or cheaper ways to like pay meditation app, and I will bring some examples tomorrow. Programs for you to do, like for you to train your brain, for you to bring positiveness. So I will bring all of these solutions tomorrow because today is very late already. And then I will bring you the what God put in my heart, and then I wanna offer to you to be a part of this safe place that I will create. And you can come and you can be a part of that, but I will tell you everything tomorrow. So stay with me. I wait for you tomorrow 12:30 p.m. here on Facebook. I will open the live to explain, to give you the answers, any questions you have, and explain about the solutions to win the enemies, the imposter syndrome, the saboteurs, and the dream thieves and assassins of purpose. So how to win all those enemies in your life for you to live a successful life, for you to live the life you want to live. You were created to live and fulfill your purpose and fulfill your potential. Okay? So stay with me tomorrow. I'll see you again. And if you see value on this live, on this content, I know it was very long tonight, but send this live to others. Will be saved until 1 p.m. and it will be my pleasure to help you. So send me a message and then I can send to you the link. It's free, the assessment is free, and you can find out the saboteurs in your life. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me tonight, this live. Thank you so much, Regina, Frenchie, Jennifer, Anna. Was awesome to have you here. And guys, I can see the others, but thank you so much, everyone. Was awesome to be here with you. Let me know what you think about that, what you identify for you, and I see you tomorrow 12:30. Okay, I will explain to you how to win this battle and to offer you the safe place. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.